Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to kind of go through, read through, and kind of talk a little bit about what's in this news article here from Bungie. They're talking about what they've accomplished so far, the state of the game now, and where we're heading in Lightfall. But I like this immediately, these 4 bullet points. Excuse me, I'm keeping that in the video. So the four big bullet points they're trying to do is expand players' imaginations, bring challenge back to Destiny, great, enrich our content, amazing, and connect our guardians, even better. So guys, here's the thing, right? For me, like I've put a ton of time into this franchise, and I read earlier in this article that a lot of the most seasoned and most hardcore player base tends to say there's just not enough to do. Or where do they say it at? Right around here. But sometimes not all our content is rewarding is as rewarding or engaging as we'd like. And sometimes you just can't find anybody to play with. And that's a big factor into why Destiny 2 has very high numbers at the start of a DLC or a start of a season or a start of a whatever, and then the player base drips off within the first couple weeks back to realizing, okay, well, this has kind of been the same kind of deal. These weapons are good. This right here, if they can do this right here, I didn't mean to highlight everything, but these 4 bullet points here, connecting people to play. Connecting people to play is such a big fucking deal, man. Like, you guys gotta understand, like, for me, playing Destiny 2, I wouldn't find it near as fun as I do now if I didn't stream and make content and have people to continue to play with. Like, I'm tired of some of the games that we love the most being a meme because we play them. It's not a meme. It's okay to be passionate about something, man. Enriching the content. Abso-fucking-lutely. Enrich the content. Give us a reason to grind the content. Guys, in Destiny 1, there was so much more, in my opinion, reason to grind the content. There were strike-specific weapons, strike-specific, I believe, didn't they have strike-specific class items? So you could get, like, specific hunter cloaks, bonds, marks, all that kind of stuff, and it looked great. The raids had raid ornaments, for God's sake. I mean, the Outbreak, is perfected now, but I think it was Outbreak Prime in D1. The puzzle you had to solve to get that, fucking incredible. Just more innovative and interesting things to do like that would drive the player base to playing so much more. What did they say about the expanding players' imaginations? In Destiny 2, we want each major update to get the gears inside our players' heads turning on what's new and what it means for the way they interact with the game. This wasn't true for all of our releases last year, and it's going to take changes across multiple releases to get us where we want to be. We can't break all the design bones we want to right away, so instead let's unpack how we will take on this big challenge over the course of next year. Season of Defiance is where we're starting after Lightfall. So the first season after Lightfall is apparently going to be Season of Defiance, which, dude, we already know what to expect from the art and the graphical capability. This game is fucking beautiful, man. So Lightfall will launch alongside Season of Defiance, and while most of this content was wrapped up before this new goal was put into place, we still have numerous seasonal quality of life changes along with substantial iterations to our current model coming to shake things up. Starting with reducing complexity with our progression system, that means fewer competing currencies to earn. Fucking great. So I don't mind that there's a lot of currencies to earn, but they need to, if there were so many currencies to earn, there needs to be more multiple points to earn them. In the sense of, it needs to feel like it means more to me. Okay? We're doing away with umbrals. and Umbral Energies. So after you've unlocked Seasonal Focusing, if you want to focus an Engram into a particular seasonal weapon or armor, all you'll need is Glimmer and a Seasonal Engram. Beautiful. Additionally, seasonal engrams will be stored and tracked on seasonal vendors, so managing engram bucket in your character's inventory will be much easier than it is today. Absolutely incredible. Like, good quality of life change there, guys. Keep up with the quality of life changes. The QOLs help so fucking much with getting this game to where it needs to be. We won't be asking you to hold large sacks of seasonal currency to unlock a chest at the end of every seasonal activity. Instead, we will be dropping singular keys throughout your playtime that allow you to extract better rewards from the chests at the end of a seasonal activity. This will create a simpler relationship where you know that if you have even one key, you're getting better rewards. There you go. It also represents the repositioning of the chest as true bonuses, not requirements. Unlike today's seasonal currencies, keys won't drop every time you complete an activity. To compensate for this change, we've made the base rewards for each seasonal activity completion better, so when you earn and spend a key, it's a meaningful bonus. There you fucking go, Bungie. That's how you fucking do it. I shouldn't have to run through content in this game to get a shitty drop. Give us good drops, and then when we get the stuff to unlock the chest, make the chest fucking, fucking explode all over our faces with fucking amazingness, okay? That's gonna fucking go well on YouTube, I'm sure. Finally, Finally, by default, keys can drop from seasonal activities, which means you're no longer required to play content outside of the seasonal playlist to chase seasonal rewards. I punched my microphone, but great. Good change, man. On top of these changes in Season of Defiance, player can expect fewer total vendor upgrades, with each individual upgrade being more potent, and some upgrades even offering a variance on the way you interact with the seasonal activity. Great, dude. In Season of Defiance, we've also taken a big stab at the way we name our various progression systems and currencies. We want any player to read the name of something and immediately understand what it does. In short, to spend more time playing and less time trying to understand what they are supposed to do. That right there is perfect. So, here's the thing. People come into Destiny 2 all the time and wonder just exactly what the fuck is going on. Me coming back to Destiny after, I've not consistently playing it for, a couple years and wanting to swap back over to this being my main game and the main thing I do, I find myself asking a million questions and being like, what the fuck? And then when people come into my streams or come in the YouTube channel and they're like, wait, you don't understand this either? I'm like, nah, man, I'm just still trying to figure it out and learn with you guys. So, if there's any misinformation that I just blew out in this video, do comment down below and let me know if I made a mistake anywhere. I love to know what I've said wrong, so that way I can learn and improve in the future for you guys and make better content heading forward. In seasons to come. After Season of Defiance, we will head into Season of the Deep. With some time under our belt to react to recent player feedback, Season of the Deep will not feature a vendor upgrade paradigm. The same will be true for the following season. This doesn't mean that players will never see a vendor upgrade system again, but instead means we want to create a more varied experimental framework and slowly create a wide array of different systems for players to show their investments in the seasonal content. The variety will also extend into the types of content players experience in the moment-to-moment gameplay of our later seasons. In both Season of the Deep and Season 22, the team is pushing the envelope to create more fresh activity experiences, like when we first unveiled the Shattered Realm in the Season of the Lost, or debuted Battlegrounds in Season of the Chosen. One thing we want to continue from last year is casting a wide net when it comes to themes and fantasies our players can expect with each release. Lightfall already has a very different tone from the setting from the Witch Queen, and we want to continue this tonal variety in our seasonal content. From the Reapers to Pirates to Cowboys, last year's seasons proved that Destiny 2 can encompass experiences that contain widely varied inspirations. We are committed to adventures in Lightfall, in Lightfall's collection of seasons, feeling just as thematically fresh from one another as they did last year. See, that's perfect right there. So, and guys, this is going to be a longer video for me, but just, you know, if you guys make it, if you guys have made it even this far, just comment down below and let me know. But that right there, like, it would be so cool. Have a fucking, like, I like that. Pirate season. Let's get pirate-themed stuff. Looked great. All right, let's get cowboy-themed shit. Looks great. Let's get, I don't know, fucking G.I. Joe theme, fucking Barbie theme, I don't know. Just fucking throw some variety in there, man. That's great. That's fucking great. 3 stories. Oh, these stories, progressions, and themes aren't the only way we think we can stretch the player imagination space. Some of this is going to come from the new systems into Destiny 2 or revisiting systems that aren't quite hitting the mark. Perfect, man. In Lightfall, we will be adding Guardian ranks to the game alongside of rethinking Destiny 2 build crafting with loadouts. While we aren't going to go deep into either of those systems here, they both represent new lenses that we want to continue to apply to Destiny 2. For example, Guardian ranks aim to be the effortless way Guardians share their place in their journey with another. No longer will the number next to your nameplate be a representative of how much you've grinded the season pass. Instead, it's a representation of your experience as a Guardian. I like that, man. I kind of like this. Like, that, to me, that doesn't make sense yet, but I'm curious to see what they're doing. That just sounds good. Oh, here's a big one. Weapon crafting. You're going to want a killer set of weapons for those challenges, and this year we're going to change how you think about obtaining those weapons with some major updates to weapon crafting. While we love having some sources of deterministic perks, we found that the route to getting the weapons you want to craft can be too random. At the same time, we also believe the weapon crafting being a part of so many of our weapon chases has diminished the joy of simply getting a great perk roll as a drop. So here's what you can expect to change with crafting in the Year of Lightfall. Oh, damn, they've got a ton of bullet points here, man. To create independent chases for both crafted and non-crafted weapons, starting with Lightfall, fewer of our total weapons will be craftable, and more of our weapons with long-term sources will get value from random perk rolls. To allow these non-crafted weapons to stand toe-to-toe with crafted weapons in Lightfall, in the Year of Lightfall, more and more of our non-crafted weapons, starting with New Raid Adepts this year, will have the ability to be enhanced. Enhancing allows your dropped weapons to start leveling up, use mementos, and gain access to both enhanced perks and enhanced intrinsic properties. But only the enhanced versions of these perks and masterworks that are already on the version of the weapon you are enhancing. Simply said, with some time and resources, enhancing allows you to take that random rolled weapon you've obtained and enhance its existing roll to match the full power of a crafted weapon. Okay, we like that. We are targeting to roll this out initially with Lightfall Raid Adepts at the launch of Season of the Deep. Long term, we want to expand the functionality to most of our new non-crafted weapon drops, but there are some technical hurdles we need to solve first. For crafted weapons, we will have some additional changes planned. You will never see deep sight on a weapon unless it's something you need to make pattern progress on. When you see a red border in game, you will know it's valuable. Thank you. Fucking thank you, Bungie. Finally. Targeting Season of the Deep, we will also be adding a mechanism to activate deep sight on any craftable weapon if they do not have a pattern for. Finally, we want to tackle one more thing out of game to help with our goal of expanding the player imagination, and that's giving our players a little more of a sneak peek into releases before they hit the servers. So while some of the releases this year will still be kept secret until they hit players' machines, others like Season of the Deep will preview and share key details ahead of time. Bring challenge back to Destiny. We could have all the variety in the world, but that wouldn't matter if we weren't also making sure that the content our players spend most of their time with is engaging and interesting. There's a lot that goes into making a piece of Destiny content engaging, but at the Chewy Center, it's challenge. Last year we spent a lot of time bringing bringing all our subclasses up to the Stasis 3.0 standard. During that time, not only did our abilities become more powerful, but the synergy with the weapons and gear raised the total power tide for all boats. The results of these changes in a game with a more compelling... The results of these changes is a game with a more compelling RPG, but at times lower levels of challenge in our core content. With a player base as large as Destiny's, the right level of difficulty is going to be different for everyone. While we were still committed to offering multiple difficulty levels in content such as our campaigns, Nightfalls, secret missions, dungeons, and raids, we feel like the baseline challenge in most of our content is just too low. Tuning abilities. Bringing challenge back to Destiny requires a two-pronged approach. If we just tuned up our enemies across the game, we start to encounter issues where combatants frequently one-shot players and would feel super spongy. As a result, even more relaxing content will require players to conform to the most meta Guardian loadouts. On the other hand, if we were to tune the player's efficiency, the RPG element would start to feel like they matter less, and Destiny might start to lose its essential fantasy of being this powerful battle wizard in space. So instead of focusing on just one vector, we're going to take measured approaches in both players' toolkit and the strength of our monsters. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. This is actually very fucking good. Start with the player's toolkit. Across both PvE and PvP, we believe that abilities dominate too many engagements due to potency, which we don't want to nerf. Which we don't want to nerf. And uptime, which we do want to tackle. Destiny is a game about guns and powers. We want both to shine. So starting with Lightfall, we are moderately increasing ability recharge time across a wide selection of our abilities, as mentioned in the ability tuning preview last week. I missed that, so I'll have to go back and read up on that for sure. We've also noticed that enemy combatants aren't just hitting as hard as we want them to, especially against max resilience guardians. So we're adjusting the amount of damage resistance granted by resilience and increasing the cost of resilience mods from 1 to 2 for minor mods and 3 to 4 for major mods. Okay. Alright. With the build crafting updates in Lightfall, we believe great builds will be much more accessible to the community. And while we still want your gear and your mods to be critical, some of the buffs to our Guardian's damage and survivability were just a bit too strong in the old system. And so we've taken this opportunity for a balancing patch to gear-driven buffs. Now, I know these last paragraphs might have been scary to read, but we don't think these changes are going to be a big swing of the balance pendulum. More than anything, this is about reining in some unintentional power creep that we saw over the last year. We're committed as always to making Guardians feel like the ultimate monster killing machine. And I'm confident that with Strand, our new build crafting updates and suite of new weapons coming in Lightfall, you will all be making Zavala and Shaxx very proud. Oh yeah, man, dude, like, I'm not scared at all when I read any of that stuff. I get excited over this kind of stuff, right? Because I love to see different variation of the games, man. Like, Destiny 1, I felt like was so interesting because I would wake up one day and, know there was some new stuff coming, and now all of a sudden, my auto rifle that I was using that was mega busted is now getting domed by fucking hand cannons, and for some reason, shotguns are just crazy. Then sniper rifles are just crazy. Then everything is just crazy. So, it was just like, okay, this is fucking cool, man. So, but I promise a two-sided approach to challenge. So let's talk about how things will be shaken up with enemy difficulty. I can't fucking read, guys, sorry. Recently, we've been happy with the level of challenge present in the base Heist Battleground playlist. To achieve this, we use a difficulty knob that enforces just how overlevel we will let players be compared to the enemies they are fighting. This knob has always been present across all our activities, and it's adjusted based on how evergreen we want the challenge to be in those missions. We were pretty aggressive with this adjustment in Season of the Seraph, and it produced great results. So the base Battlegrounds playlist and Season of Defiance will use the same setting. carrying this approach over, we are also going to be adjusting this same difficulty tweak on the Vanguard Ops playlist. We aren't going to set this playlist knob to a level quite as intense as the Battleground playlist, but we still want to use this setting to make Vanguard Ops a lot more engaging to the average Guardian starting in Lightfall. This approach to power and difficulty is also going to be present when players are roaming around Neomuna. And while we don't want the entire game to feel like it's turned up to 11, we're thinking these challenges will help the enemy forces patrolling Neomuna feel dangerous and worth your attention. Damn it. You may have noticed that we've been experimenting with a lot of our power settings over the last few seasons, and we're planning to take on even more experiments this year. I mean, that's great. Some of the tweaks might be found in our back end with little transparency to the average Guardian, while others will be front and center. For example, when Lightfall launches, we will have a power climb that is very similar to that in Witch Queen, but later in the Season of the Deep, we don't plan to raise the power or pinnacle cap at all. Enrich our content. With all these changes to power and pursuits, we also want to make sure there's plenty for players to sink their teeth into over the next year. For the last few years, we've been trying to attack this problem by trying to squeeze one more morsel of new content in each release. But I think we can get better results with a different strategy. Making the existing depth of incredible content in Destiny 2 more valuable to new and returning Guard. Abso-fucking-lutely. Don't give me this shitty little event to do. Give me something that I can do that's amazing and drops the gear that I want to grind. Guys, listen. I'm a very small content creator, but give us strike-specific loot. Give us give us like content-specific loot. Make it insane. You know? I don't know, give us a power level increase slider thing, where if you do it on Master, where you don't match make with anybody and you got to pull 6 people in, that you get like an extra mod slot on the armor and high stat rolls, like a guaranteed 60 plus on the armor, you know, or give us adept weapons from that or something, man, anything. Oh boy, Fiery Crucible. Let's start with one of our most evergreen rituals, the Crucible. Player versus player combat is here to stay in Destiny 2, as we think it's one of the most inherently replayable parts of the Destiny experience. Last year, we injected several new modes into PvP, from Rift to Eruption to Fortress. Alright, let me just throw it out there right now. Rift and Fortress, trash. Eruption, very solid. We're excited for some of these game modes to get more face time in the core ritual experience, but we're not done adding variety to the ways you engage with PvP. For the love of God, Bungie, do not bring back Fortress. Please, for the love of God. Help the PvP players out. Do not bring back Fortress. Also, if you're in PvP and running Celestial Nighthawk, no. Into Season of Defiance, we're looking at getting Countdown back into the game, along with a respawn variant of the game mode we call Countdown Rush, where players must detonate/defuse both bombs on the map before the round's end. We also aim to run a series of Crucible labs, including a mode where the player sandbox is dramatically changed. Weapon damage, ability uptime, and even ammo are all adjusted in a new mode tentatively titled Checkmate Control. This mode will reward players who use their smarts and their skills. So if the only way the enemy has been able to shut you down in the past is a solo blade barrage, they might be in trouble. This isn't all we have planned for modes, so keep your eyes on labs for more classic and all new modes later this year. Now, we think that a steady stream of novel game modes and reining in of player power is going to do a lot for the health of our PvP ecosystem. But we're still committed to keeping true to our Crucible maps plan, which means the arrival of Meltdown in Season of the Deep, a brand new Vex network map in Season 22, and the return of Citadel in our last season before the final shape. We'll also be looking at our existing maps and doing a spawn retuning pass on many of them this year to improve how our various modes flow. Okay. In matchmaking, we still don't have We still don't feel we've nailed the trade-off between fair matches and good connections. We still need to get features like dynamic skill ranges in-game to allow for players across all skill levels to get consistently high-quality connections in their matches. As we continue to adjust algorithms to improve connection qualities, we are also turning our eyes toward lobby balancing, where we aim to construct matches with a more consistent skill spread amongst players on both teams. We also want to continue to zoom out and make sure that we're upgrading meta systems that encourage folks to play PvP. Think of this like the Iron Banner revamp. Our recent increases to Iron Banner reputation and our commitment to having 3 Iron Banners per season this year, while we haven't settled out on all the details, we are currently looking at the rewards and matchmaking structures of Trials of Osiris, and we'd like to push more updates to that mode this year in order to make it more consistently keep the population at healthier levels. Finally, in competitive, we want to improve the speed at which players climb the rank that most of the matches in Crucible skill are ensure it's clear why you won or lost a specific number of rank points shown after a match. Very good changes, Bungie. Like, honestly, like, I like the idea of what they're going for in Crucible. I think skill-based matchmaking just needs to go. Like, I don't care what you want to call it, dynamic skill ranges. No, it's skill-based matchmaking. And we should always be playing on connection-based matchmaking. If you get stomped in a Crucible lobby, just understand that you're still going to have more fun with a better connection than you would playing people at your skill level and somebody lagging around the map and you can't fucking kill them. Just saying. Exotic mission rotator. Trials won't be the only thing getting love as far as rituals go, so let's talk about the PvE side of the game. Over the years, we've added a ton of great exotic missions, like Presage and Operation Sheriff Seal to Destiny 2. This year, not only will we continue to create new exotic missions, but starting in Season 22, we will be adding an exotic mission rotator. Like our Legacy Raid and Dungeon rotators, the exotic mission rotator will feature exotic missions from the past. They rotate on a weekly cadence and offer great rewards for players willing to dive into some classic content. In Season 22, this rotator will contain the exotic mission from Seasons 13, 16, and 19, Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Sheriff Shield. While with this framework implemented, we hope to use this rotator in the future to continue to bring some of Destiny 2's most classic missions back to the fold. Oh man, here we go. Refreshing strikes. This is huge. Have a big effect on is the Vanguard rituals. We've already talked about how we're going to be making the Vanguard Ops playlist more engaging by raising the challenge, but Lightfall, we're also shaking up some of the activities inside the playlist. This effort will begin with refreshing the Lake of Shadows and Arms Dealer strikes. Both activities have had their objectives and encounters reimagined and upgraded to match the combat engagement levels of some of our most recent strike entries, such as Lightblade and Proving Grounds. In addition, we're taking strikes that have not been updated recently, such as Exodus Crash and the Inverted Spire, and dramatically reducing their presence in Vanguard Ops playlists while eliminating them from Nightfall rotations. These strikes will still be available for direct launch, but until they get brought up to the engagement parity with some of our most recent Vanguard content, they will not show up as frequently as... Okay, that's very good. Aside from strikes, we're going to be upgrading how Battlegrounds integrates with Vanguard Ops. Alongside Lightfall, the Season 16 and Season 19 Battlegrounds will be added to the Vanguard Ops playlist. We really like them. Enemy-filled chaos of Battlegrounds. So this year, we will also be adding a section of Battlegrounds as Nightfalls. Okay. This process will begin with the Mars Heist Battleground being part of the Nightfall rotation in Season of Defiance. And we expect more Battlegrounds to be following suit each season. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see what happens, man. We have looking further as we get further away from Lightfall in our seasonal schedule. We are going to make some targeted changes to ritual content based on what we've observed about why players engage in this content. We don't expect these changes to make it in for Season of Defiance, but over time we want to start pushing both more rewards to ritual content and more options to engage with our ritual content. This will include changes such as moving the initial source of obtaining exotic armor away from lost sectors and back into the core rituals. No longer asking players to earn all 3 of the ritual pursuit ornaments in seasonal challenges, and allowing players to earn more new rewards and complete more of their weekly challenges by playing content of their choice, not just the newest seasonal activity playlist. Very good. The rebalancing objectives and rewards of slow burn over light fall. We're looking to make a more direct approach in our last season of the year, dedicating a significant amount of development time towards more core ritual focused seasons. While the season will have plenty of new activity and story content, we want to take this time right before the final shape to crisp up our core rituals and pursuits as we head into our final expansion of the Light and Darkness saga. This last seasonal effort is just now getting underway, so expect more details as we get further into the year. Connect our Guardians. So, what we have planned for in the corner, commendations, Guardian ranks with the launch of Lightfall. The commendation system is the first step in creating stronger connections between Guardians this year. It can be hard to reach out to someone you don't know. Commendations are an icebreaker, a simple way of saying thanks to the players that you appreciated playing with. Over time, players will accumulate a ton of different commendations that help build a story for how others in Destiny 2 perceive you. Certain commendations like Pesetter and Saint's Favorite are only available to be given in Trials of Osiris, while others like Perceptive and Knowledgeable are given out in a raid and dungeon content. Okay, so they're gonna basically like label you like, okay, I've done this content, like, and now I can approach you because now I know, like, if you have this certain what do they call it, commendation on, you've done a raid, you've done a dungeon, you've won a flawless trials run, something like that. Let's see. So we're gonna have a fire team finder as well. I mean, this right here, this is a little tough, man. I don't want to run this video too long, but hopefully they figure out how to make this a little easier, because man, it's always hard to find people to play with that you don't know, to talk to and try to learn together, because there's a lot of people out there that unfortunately are, don't want to help the team, don't want to put the time and effort into getting what needs to be done to get through the more difficult content where it's very mechanic driven. But guys, holy shit, have I ever winded? This might be the longest YouTube video that I've ever uploaded, and I just did a whole fucking lot of talking, and I know I kind of jumbled around and fumbled around and read a bunch of shit. The only thing I wish I would have seen was something about strike specific loot. Like, I want strike specific loot back. I want the factions back as well. So guys, if you made it to the end of the video, comment down below and type the word ramen. Type ramen in the comment section if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Also, comment down below. Comment down below. Hey, you know what I just said. Comment down below. Let me know what your favorite thing about what you saw in this is. Let me know if you're going to be playing Lightfall. And other than that, guys, when you see this video get posted, I'm usually live around 9 p.m. Eastern time. This video will probably get uploaded around 3 p.m. Eastern, probably on the 15th, I would say, the 14th or 15th. So keep a lookout for this video, guys. I appreciate you all so much. It's been your boy Flame. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.